Norse Myths, Viking Legends of Heroes and Gods, by Martin J. Dougherty. Digitally narrated in the voice of Todd Robertson, published by Amber Books, and produced by Deep Sen. The Norsemen. The stories of Thor, Odin, and Loki are at least vaguely familiar to most of us. Many people can recall, often without being able to say exactly where they heard the story, that the Norse gods fought against giants and were ultimately betrayed by Loki the trickster. The end of the world and the death of the gods in a grim battle called Ragnarok has also found its way into popular culture. People who would never consider studying mythology may know a surprising amount about the religion of the Norse people, often without realizing they do. One reason for this is the profound influence that Norse mythology has had upon other cultures, causing the legends to filter through to today, not only in the histories of the Norse people themselves, but from other sources, too. Ideas borrowed from Norse mythology are frequently found in modern fantasy and science fiction, such as elves, dwarfs and undead warriors rising from an unquiet grave, for example. In some cases, the use of Norse characters in modern stories is deliberate. In Marvel's graphic novels and movies, Thor and his fellow gods are an advanced race, whose science gives them godlike powers, but they are essentially the same people as in the original myths. In David Drake's Northworld series of novels, the lead characters are parallels of the Norse gods. Commander North himself lost an eye in return for knowledge of the future, as did Odin the All-Father. This use of mythical characters is quite deliberate on the part of the author. Other influences may be less obvious, and, indeed, the creator might not be aware of the process by which he or she ended up adding Norse concepts to a novel of modern fantasy or science fiction. Magical weaponry made by dwarfs is a common fantasy trope. Few realize that it comes from Norse legend. Similarly, there are numerous Ragnarok devices and Ragnarok operations in science fiction. The meaning is obvious even to those who do not know anything about the original mythology. There are many reasons why Norse characters and stories exert such a powerful influence whereas other mythologies do not. For one thing, these are interesting characters whose adventures make a great story. Other mythologies have equally fascinating concepts, but are less well known. They require more explanation, and will not necessarily grab the audience's attention in the same way. A familiar story rings true. A familiar character is easy to identify with. So the mythology of the Norsemen continues to inspire and entertain us today, and one reason for that is the Norsemen themselves. The Norsemen. Often, rather inaccurately, referred to as Vikings, the Norse people inhabited Scandinavia, modern Denmark, Norway, and Sweden, as well as parts of Finland, and spread out into other regions. In what is now Russia, they became known as the Rus, who heavily influenced.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?